Good morning, children. Today we shall be looking at another type of adjective, that is adjectives of quantity and number. In my previous video, I had discussed the first type of adjective, that is adjectives of quality. Today, let's look into the second type, that is adjectives of quantity and number. So here we begin. Now here there are two sentences. Try to complete these sentences with suitable words. How many books are there on your table? How much water did you drink? If you have answered these questions with the words many and much, I would say that you are on the right track. So let's go ahead. When I asked you the question, how many books are there on your table, you might probably looked around your table and counted the books, and you may say there are 4 books, 2 books, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on. And the second question, how much water did you drink? You would say, I drank some water, I drank little water and so on. So, here we are about to learn what is meant by adjectives of quantity and adjectives of number. Adjectives of quantity tell us how much. How much water? You answer some. So some is an example of adjectives of quantity. Adjectives of number tell us how many. So how many books? You may say 4 books or give me any number. Now here we have to complete the sentences with much or many. How many trees are there in the garden? How much sugar do you want? How many children are there in your class? How much jam is left in the jar? In these sentences, we have used many or much with certain nouns. Now these nouns are trees, sugar, children and jam. Now if you look at these nouns, you realize that some are countable and some are uncountable. Now trees is countable, sugar is uncountable, children is countable and jam is uncountable. Now look at these sentences very carefully. You will realize that wherever we have used countable nouns, we have used the word many, and wherever there are uncountable nouns, we have used the word much. So, this makes us understand that many is used with countable nouns, which is actually adjectives of number, as it tells us how many, whereas much is used with uncountable nouns, which tell us adjectives of quantity, which explains how much. So what is meant by adjectives of number? Now look at these sentences. There are 12 months in a year. February is the second month of the year. December is the last month of the year. In these 3 sentences, we have used number in the first one, that is 12, whereas in the next 2 sentences, we have used the words second and last. And you will realize that second and last are ordinal numbers. And ordinal numbers tells us the order in a series. So adjectives of number can deal with actual numbers as well as ordinal numbers. Adjectives of number is used with countable nouns, and these countable nouns can tell us the exact number part of adjectives of number. So adjectives of quantity tells us how much or what is the amount of nouns. It is used with uncountable nouns, and we use certain words like whole, little, much, enough, all with uncountable nouns. These words are examples of adjectives of quantity. Here are some examples. Do you have enough money to go for a picnic? There is some rice left in the vessel. They did not get much time to prepare. Don't eat the whole bread. Now in these sentences, you'll find that we have used words like enough, some, much, whole, which are adjectives of quantity, along with money, rice, time, bread, which are uncountable nouns. Now children, here are some sentences. Let's try to pick out the adjective and find out if it is an adjective of quantity or number. The first sentence is, there are some birds flying in the sky. Here, the adjective is some, which has been used with birds. Now, birds is a countable noun, and hence we can say that some is an adjective of number. In the second sentence, put some salt in the curry. Here again, the adjective used is some, but it has been used with salt, and salt is uncountable. So here the adjective some is an adjective of quantity. In the third sentence, is there any sugar in the bottle? The adjective any is used with sugar, and sugar is uncountable. So any is an example of adjective of quantity. Whereas in the last sentence, we don't have any book with us. The adjective used is any. It is used with book, and book is countable. So we can say that any is an example of adjective of number. Now in these sentences, you'll find that the adjectives some and any have been used both with countable as well as uncountable nouns. Now what you have to keep in mind is that when the adjectives some and any are used with countable nouns, then they are adjectives of number. And when these same adjectives are used with uncountable nouns, then they become adjectives of quantity. And hence, remember children, some and any are two adjectives which can be used both with countable nouns as well as uncountable nouns. So let's recap. In today's session, we have studied that there are two types of adjectives besides adjectives of quality, that are adjectives of quantity and adjectives of number. Adjectives of quantity is used with uncountable nouns and it tells us how much, whereas adjectives of number is used with countable nouns and it tells us how many. So my dear children, I hope you have been able to understand what is meant by adjective of quantity and number. Thank you all for watching this video.